Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Sakura Angels. We're gonna be continuing on. Last time we just asked, I think we asked where they came from. Okay, this one should be an obvious one to ask. I asked it before, but only got the vague answer from them being my supposed guardian angels. I'm hoping she feels more generous right now, though. Well, I'm Sakura, and this is Hikari. Did you forget our names already? I might actually rip my hair out. I open my mouth to say once more that she knows damn well that's not what I mean, but it seems she's way ahead of me. In all seriousness, I'm not really sure how much I'm allowed to say. We're already bending the rules as it is with showing ourselves to you. I mean, really, this whole thing is a complete disaster. Why did you have to cause us so many problems? Hey, it's not my fault. I think? I like the wording on that. Just be thankful you're so important to me, or we would have left you to be eaten by that thing. The realization of what she said slowly dawns on her. It was quite fun to watch her usually grumpy face gradually go red before she stomps in a fluster. I mean important to us. Us! Smooth. Sayaka giggles and gives her a playful punch in the shoulder. Hikari responds in kind by giving her a wallop to the shoulder, with nothing playful about it. Are these two even partners? Anyway, I try my best to keep things on track, though I'm sure it won't be long before it devolves into violence again. I think the most we can tell you is... We're not from around here. Rather, we were sent here specifically to ensure your safety. Do you belong to some sort of group? Wait, are there more of you with these weird powers? I might have said too much already. She rubs at the back of her head with a grin that pretty much says, whoops. I probably won't be able to get any more out of her on this subject. For today, at least. Maybe if I catch her off guard another day, she might let slip more. So, was there anything else you wanted to know? Nope. We're gonna roll on, cause we're not interested in how long they're gonna be here. I guess that's all the time we have for now. I think the bell for second half is about to... Yep. There it is. Oh? Time to go back now, is it? She stretches her arms into the air, giving a small yawn. Well, I hope we are able to clear things up a little. Not at all. Something like that. Yeah, no, not at all. Come on, we don't want to be late. Sayaka bounds for the stairs, as if in some sort of race. Her partner trailing behind her, she gives me one last look. She stops, her eyes cast downward for a moment before flickering back up. Hey, what's up? Nothing. It's nothing. And with that, she disappears down the stairs too, leaving me alone on the roof. I wonder what that was about. I guess I should follow after them. I don't want to be late again. As I start for the stairs, my stomach gives a terrifying sound. One that screams for food. Oh, right. In all my haste to figure out what the girls were doing, I neglected to get any lunch at all. Aww. And so, classes resume. After all the initial excitement in the morning, not a lot happens throughout the remaining lessons. They drag out at a glacial pace, somehow even more dull than usual. It's also hard to keep my mind focused on anything with Sayaka and Hikari on each side, there to protect me. I was half expecting the monster to just burst its way through the window and for the whole place to turn into a battleground. Though, it might have at least made things more lively. With one final ring of the bell, school comes to a close, a hazy amber glow taking over the classroom as the sun begins to set. The majority of students begin to filter out of their class to start their clubs or part-time jobs. Not me though, I'm off home. While joining a club is certainly encouraged, thankfully, this isn't a place where it's enforced, meaning I'm free to loaf all I want. It might make me come across as a bit of a slacker in the eyes of other students, but they're not exactly wrong. Wasting no time, I set out of the school and begin to head home. Something that should have been fairly stress-free, but... I mean, I should have expected this, but it's still a bit much. The horizon glows darker with each step I make through the quiet streets, a pale moon slowly making its presence known in the sky. Thud, thud, thud. My heavy steps resound down the narrow road, quickly swallowed into the night. But there's also another set of steps, or rather, two set of steps, that sound to either side of me. Far lighter steps, with far more grace than I could ever hope to achieve. Look, I know you're here to protect me, but do you really need to be so... close? Yes. Those steps belong to none other than my self-professed guardian angels. Sayaka to my left and Hikari to my right. They practically walk in unison with me, their shoulders inches away from mine. Don't be stupid. Walking home at night would be the perfect time for the enemy to strike. This is where we have to stay on our guard the most. Yikes. She doesn't have to yell so loud in my ear like that. Well, I certainly didn't yell. I think I must be just a little bit deafer from having spent so much time with her alone today. Today alone. Do you think I like having to be this close to you? You should be grateful I'm doing this at all. Another and a turn of her head, her vibrant hair swaying gently. Right. Sorry. Sayaka's theme is a hell of a lot more upbeat. Aw, don't be like that, Hikari. Don't think I don't catch you sneaking glances at his face while he's looking elsewhere. Oh, call out. As she walks, Sayaka leans close across me to smirk at Hikari. This is getting really awkward, guys. Huh? You saw... I mean, I was just checking the enemy hadn't landed a stealth attack on him. Sure. Whatever you say. My left ear is rocked by a mischievous giggle as Sayaka breaks into hysterics. All the while, Hikari's face begins to turn an interesting shade of red. Anyway, you're the one who keeps pressing your shoulder up against him. What are you trying to do? Huh? She was doing that? Now that she mentioned it, the left side did feel cozier for a time. I was just trying to keep him warm. See, I care for his well-being, and I wouldn't want him to catch a cold. Infallible logic there, Sayaka. And he's not complaining, so he must like it. Without warning, she latches onto my arm, pulling herself in and almost sending me toppling to the ground. See? Hey now, this is... The saxophone in this song is just outrageous. What are you doing? You're going to tear his arm off. You have to do it more gently, like this. Oh, brother. Hikari latches onto my other arm, hooking it within hers in an attempt to tug me away from Sayaka. What the heck did this turn into? A trope. Girls, you really don't need to... No. That isn't how you do it at all, Hikari. It's more like... Sayaka pulls back on my arm, and soon they both have a firm grip of each of my arms. Determination across their faces as I become some sort of human rope. What is this, tug of war? They're gonna rip me apart. Ha! Please. This is how it's done. Do they even remember what they were trying to do? What started innocently enough is now spurred into some sort of contest between them. Yeah, they're fighting over you there, buddy. They are really competitive. Ow! Now's not the time to think about stuff like that. Can you please get off of me? Raising my voice more than I'd done in a while, I explode, my body at stake here. And like that, they both let go of my arms at once, leaving me free to ensure they're both still fully intact. I'm glad they listened to reason. I really thought I was gonna die there. No, you didn't. Apparently, it's not the monsters I have to worry about anymore. It's these two. Girls? At least, I thought it had been my desperate cry that had gotten through to them, but they seemed completely transfixed by something up above. What are they looking at? I squint my eyes and gaze high above the rooftops. And then, as the clouds part and the pale moonlight shines, I see it. Her? I see her. That's familiar white hair. A girl sits on the ledge of the highest point of one of the tallest buildings in the area. Silvery hair that seems to glimmer in the moonlight, and an outfit as dark as the night sky. She gives off an awe-inspiring look. Almost angelic? No, that's demonic. It's the opposite. Like she's some sort of angel gazing down from the heavens. At least, I would call her an angel if it wasn't for that unsettling grin that has just now spread across her face at the sight of us. Ah, there you are. She murmurs something to herself that I can't make out at all from the distance between us. Whatever it was she said, it was enough to make her shoulders shake with laughter. I can't help but feel like I've seen her somewhere before. Oh my gosh, man. I wonder why that is. Maybe if you put her in a school uniform, you'd recognize her? No matter how hard I try to think back, I can't recall her face at all, though. In a burst of feather, obsidian wings unfurl from behind her. Yeah, angels don't have obsidian-colored wings. Now, those definitely aren't holy. Yeah, exactly. I've got a bad feeling about this. Amber eyes peer down at the three of us, narrowed in determination, as that same unsettling grin remains. She's got a pretty badass theme, though. It might just be my imagination, but I think she's looking at me specifically. I can almost feel her stare. It's enough to send a chill down my spine, and a faint pulse at the back of my skull. A friend of yours? I force out a laugh, though I know the truth. The air is growing tense, like that time with the monster before, and the look on both Hikari's and Sayaka's face can only suggest something bad is about to go down. Ha! Afraid not. Kenta, get back. I don't like this at all. But... Okay. I do as I'm told and retreat back a good distance, not wanting to argue when they look as scary as they do. So, what do you think we're dealing with here? She seems far too human to be a shadow, but then I get the same feeling of dread from her presence. Oh, her voice got intense there. Hang tight. Alright, sorry about that. Popular guy, apparently. Ah, gotcha. I think. Wait, so is she a monster or not?
だから確かめてるのよ。あなたが怒鳴るのをやめてくれれば集中できるんだけど。
That's what I'm trying to figure out. If you'd stop yelling in my ear for 1 second and let me concentrate.
怒鳴ってないってば。もう。
Liar. I'm not yelling. Sheesh.
そうね、忘れてたわ。それがいつもの音量だったのね。じゃあ静かにして集中させて。
Right. I forgot. That's your default volume. Well then, just be quiet and let me think things over. Ooh, harsh, Hikari. You're so cruel sometimes, Hikari. The silver-haired girl, still high atop the roofs, gives me one last look before turning her gaze to the girls. And then she jumps. What? Why did she jump? I can barely watch. She plummets downwards towards where my guardians are stood. No hint of even beginning to slow down. Are those wings just for show? Faster and faster she descends before finally the pavement closes in. I don't want to watch. But somehow I get the feeling she wouldn't have jumped without good reason. At least I hope she didn't. Mere inches from smashing into the ground, her wings spread wide as if brakes before bringing her to a sudden stop. Not even a gradual halt. She just comes to a complete grinding halt as if the laws of gravity don't apply to her. Force a whiplash might. Even with the wings, something like that shouldn't be possible. I mean, if a pigeon were attempting something like that, they'd barely be recognizable on the pavement right now. Gross. In fact, her feet aren't even touching the ground. She hovers above it ever so slightly before stepping onto the solid surface, as if stepping off an invisible platform. Part of me is relieved she isn't hurt from that little stunt. But then part of me is also terrified as to what might happen next. The silver-haired girl stands before Hikari and Sayaka, her expression still as unsettling as ever. Despite the smile, though, there's nothing in her posture that would suggest she has any bad intentions, yet the other two girls are tense. Yet the devil horns and wings kind of give it away there, Kenta. I can't remember her name. My head rings just trying to focus on her, like that monster from before. Is she related to them? I clutch a hand to my head and try to steady myself. It's taking all of my willpower just to keep upright at the moment. Oh shit, I gotta come up with like a menacing voice for her. Good evening, girls. No, that sucks. Good evening, girls. She greets them so casually, despite the intense glares directed her way. Somehow, I get the feeling she didn't leap off a freaking roof just to exchange pleasantries. Let's just cut to the chase, shall we? Who are you? What do you want? My, you're a hostile bunch, aren't you? She lets out a devious giggle, doing little to ease the tension in the air. Very well. You may call me Yuzuki. Jeez. As for what I'm after, well... Her eyes flit from the girls and settle straight onto me, her smile enough to send a chill down my spine. I'll be taking the boy, if you don't mind. See, he's very important to me. I knew it. Of course she would be linked to this whole mess. Why wouldn't she be? Today is the day where everything apparently wants me dead. Sayaka and Hikari refuse to comply. I mean, of course they wouldn't. They wouldn't be very good guardian angels if they had just stepped aside for this maniacal girl. No. I suppose we have to do things the hard way, The pair stand tall before me, their fists tightened. Ooh, the music just dropped off. I think there's only one way this is going to end up. The air around them seems to crackle, the amount of power contained within them, all immense. I'm afraid to even take in a breath, in case I set something off. This is dangerous. Even I can see that. I blink, and Yuzuki lunges for them in a flash, with a scythe seemingly torn out of the air itself. Holy shit. Sparks fly from the collision of metal against metal. Hikari was just barely able to react in time, changing her outfit in a flash and blocking the blow with her sword. If she had been any slower there, they might not have still had their heads. I knew it! You're just a puppet for her. She speaks through gritted teeth, pushing with all her might to try and keep that scythe at bay as it draws ever closer. It seems like a fight she might lose as the silver-haired girl presses on without even so much of a bead of sweat on her brow. Sayaka, feel free to help anytime. Huh? Oh, right. Losing ground quite rapidly, her feet begin to slide back from the force. Hikari barks at her partner, who had just about recovered from the shock of the strike. They really are in trouble here. And all I can do is stand, gawking. I know for sure if I go anywhere near them, I'll be torn apart. This is a fight on a completely different level than me. There's another blinding flash as Sayaka transforms herself, wielding the same bow I had seen her use this morning. She dashes back a little from the clashing girls and preps her bow, pulling the strings back. I was about to wonder where that arrow was, but then I see one blink into reality, already fully knocked in the bow. She lets the magical arrow fly, her target obvious. Caught up in the clash, Yuzuki has no choice but to pull away from Hikari. She kicks back gracefully, the arrow just inches from grazing her cheek. About time! Hikari heaves a sigh of relief as she eases her shoulders, finally able to rest, if only for a moment. The fight is clearly far from over. The girls regroup and ready themselves, their mysterious opponent now going over them with unsettlingly cold eyes. Be careful, Sayaka. She's strong. I was just barely able to hold her back there. Sayaka nods, a look of determination painting her face that I wasn't even aware she was capable of. Taking just a moment to analyze the situation, the dark girl closes in again for a second round. Huh? Is this all you've got? This is going to be far easier than I imagined. Kinda wish this was animated. Ah. This is so much fun. And here I thought this boy's little guardians might have actually been a threat. Silly me. Shut up, this isn't over yet. She twirls her scythe with ease and swipes at the pair with the same maniacal expression. Each strike is either just barely dodged by the girls, or just about deflected by Hikari's desperate counterattacks. This is a completely one-sided fight. If that wasn't already clear from the moment this girl had made her first move. She's able to take on both of them with no problem, blocking whatever attack Hikari might be able to muster from her position, and chasing after Sayaka whenever she attempts to make some distance between them for her bow. The guitar is seriously rocking. Fine, let's see if you can dodge at this speed. Whoa. They're moving so fast now, my eyes can barely keep up with it all. The action eventually just turning into colorful blurs as the fight drags on, battle cries and the clash of steel filling the air. The streets around them are becoming completely wrecked. Oh shit. Lampposts are split in two, parked cars are being sent flying, and even chunks of the road itself are being chipped away each time they collide together. This is like straight up a fucking Dragon Ball Z fight now. Without warning, the intense speed grinds to a halt. Sayaka is suddenly sent tumbling to the ground, Hikari shortly following as the silver-haired girl stands triumphant, not a single scratch upon her. They end up tangled in a heap together, both of them fairly dazed. Thankfully they don't seem too hurt, but they certainly have each other's fair share of bruises. Are you guys alright? Unable to keep myself from cowering any longer, I call out to them, taking a step towards the carnage. I completely freeze up as the silver-haired girl's hollow eyes flutter onto me. Her gaze is frightening. Paralyzing. She came here for me. Just like that monster did before. Do I have a sign on my back that says kill me or something? What are you doing, you idiot? Stay away. We're fine. Hikari rouses me to my senses with her harsh cry. It's a bit hard to believe she's fine when she's completely tangled up with her partner, though. They're both flailing about helplessly in an effort to get up. Is this my leg or your leg? I can't tell. Ow! Well, don't hit it. That doesn't solve anything. Oh, so it was your leg. Okay, I get it. So why are you still hitting it? Just get off of me. You're so heavy. Heavy? Me? Yes, you. If you weren't such a glutton, maybe we wouldn't be in this situation. It's not like it's my fault I like to eat. I think you're just jealous because I can eat tons and get away with it. I've seen what happens when you pig out, Hikari. It's like you triple in size. Holy shit, harsh, Sayaka. Why has silver-haired girl not struck yet? Excuse me? You're lucky I can't reach my sword right now, or I would... Ah, did you just bite me? You can't prove anything. You're such a savage. This is a complete disaster. With my supposed guardian still trying to sort themselves out, I'm left helpless as Yuzuki, advances towards me. She takes slow, deliberate steps, almost as if she was enjoying the look of sheer terror across my face. Now that they're out of the way, let's have a little fun, shall we? Thump, thump, thump. My heart is going to rip itself out of my chest at this rate. I should run, but I can't. Why can't I run? My body isn't listening to anything I tell it at all. The distance between us is almost gone. Is she gonna kill me? Why me? What did I ever do to deserve this? I mean, as far as I know, I've lived a normal, peaceful life. The closer she gets, the more vivid my headache becomes. The air around me is heavy, suffocating. Even the simplest act of taking in a breath is becoming too much for me in this state. Her amber eyes narrow. She tightens her grip on her scythe. What? Why are you... Oh, it's nothing personal. This is just the way things have to be if I ever want to get my life back on track. Now, say goodnight. She lashes at me like lightning, with a clear intent to kill. I can't even lift my arms to try and defend myself. It's over. Right before the wicked blade comes into contact with me, a bright bolt of what I can only assume is magic whizzes in front of my side and catches the girl off guard, knocking her off balance and prolonging my life for just a little while longer. Looking back over at what was once a disaster zone, it seems like Hikari and Sayaka are finally back on their feet. Sayaka has her hands outstretched, plumes of smoke rising from the tips of her fingers. I guess I owe her one. That was too close. I think it's time for a tactical retreat, wouldn't you agree? Huh? Are we really just gonna run? I can still... I can still fight.
おとなしくして。立ってるのがやっとでしょ。行くわよ。
Oh, shush. You can barely stand. Come on. While our opponent is still reeling from the attack, my saviors take this opportunity to dash towards me, each of them hooking an arm around me as their weapons shatter into crystal and begin reforming into the familiar wings on their back. Wait, what are you guys doing?
しっかり捕まって。いい？
Hold on tight, okay? Before I can protest any further, they both kick off the ground, and we begin to ascend. Up, into the air. We're flying. We're actually flying. What? Hey, no, put me down. Couldn't we just run?
叩かないでってば。落ちちゃうでしょ、バカ。
Quit thrashing about, or we're gonna drop you, you idiot. I will do no such thing. This is insane. I think I'm gonna puke.
ちょっとやめてよ。またあのおかしな女のところに戻りたいの？
Hey, don't you dare, or I'll make you wish you were still back down there with that freak of a girl. We continue to trail through the sky, bursting through clouds as if it were nothing. It is nothing. The wind roaring past me, the glimmer of the city lights below, the turbulence from getting carried by the pair. It's also nauseating. I really don't know if I can stand much more of this.
逃げ切れたと思う？
Do you think we lost her? Slowing to a gentle hover, and keeping me firmly in their grip, I hope, at least, they throw a glance over their shoulders, only now just being able to catch their breath.
多分ね。私たちが逃げなきゃならないなんて信じられないけれど。
I think so. I can't believe we had to flee.
ちょっとちょっと。私たちは逃げてないってば。戦術的交代。
Hey, we didn't flee, okay? It was a tactical retreat.
好きに呼びなさいよ。生きてるだけでラッキーよね。
Call it what you want, but we were lucky to keep our heads intact back then. Silence takes over as the pair fall into thought. So,
うわーケンタ、あなたのこと忘れてた。ごめんね。
huh? Kenta? Oh, I'd almost forgotten about you. Sorry, you're literally holding me up thousands of feet in the air. That's a bit worrying, no kidding. Considering you're the only thing keeping me from falling to a painful and gruesome death. Gruesome, yes, it wouldn't be painful though. You're not hurt, are you? No, I'm fine. Just, can you maybe, I don't know, put me down now?
そうだね。多分もう安全だし、降りよっか。
Right. I think it's safe now. Down we go. We begin to descend from out of the clouds, and it isn't long before my feet finally come into contact with the ground again. The safe, wonderful ground. I have to restrain myself from wanting to kiss it. I collapse onto my knees, my stomach heaving. Never again. Flying, it just isn't for me.
大丈夫？
You okay there? Sayaka gives me a solid pat on the back, which does little in way of helping my stomach. Don't. I can barely get my words out after such a traumatic experience. I take a deep breath and try again. Don't ever do that again. At least without asking me if it's okay first.
緊急事態だったでしょ？ヘタレ。
It was an emergency, you wimp. Hikari takes her turn to pat me on the back. Though it's more of a thump than anything, like a punch.
こんなことが楽しいと思ってるの？
Do you think I enjoyed having to hold on to you for that long? Okay, I get it. Just no more patting. Sayaka circles around me and bends forward to look at me, concern on her face.
うわ、実際に顔が青くなった人って初めて見た。本当に飛ぶのが嫌なんだ。
Whoa, I don't think I've ever seen someone's face go green before. Not a big fan of flying, I guess? Whatever gave you that idea? I take a moment before finally straightening myself up. Okay, I think I'm good now. While I was recovering, it looks like Sayaka and Hikari were keeping guard, watching deep into the night for any signs of life. But it looks like they weren't bothered enough to pursue. Weird. Okay, so I know I've pretty much done all... I missed a word there. Okay, so I know all I've pretty much done is ask you guys questions since we met, but
あの変な女のことだったら正直何も知らないの。
if you're wondering who that creepy girl is, I have honestly no idea. Are you sure? She looks like one of you. You know, with the magical outfit and the wings. Whoops. I might have said the wrong thing there. They both turned to me, fire in their eyes. Even Sayaka, who was pretty easygoing, seems angry at me here.
なので一緒にしないでちょうだい。
Did you just compare us to that thing? I didn't mean to.
世界が違うわ。彼女が何だったとしても。
There is a world of difference between us, and whatever the heck she was.
第一あの目を見なかったわけ。完全に正気を失ってる。正気がなかった。
For one, did you not see her eyes? She's completely insane. There wasn't a hint of sanity left. Ikari wraps her arms around herself to fight off a shiver.
気の悪さは何なのかしら。
Just thinking about her creeps me out.
あなたからすれば彼女の見た目や魔法は私たちと同じに見えるかもしれないよ。
I guess if you're looking at it from your perspective, Kenta, she might seem the same as us. With her general look and how magic seems to work.
けど彼女は全てが歪んでる。
But everything about her is twisted.
黒い翼。
The dark shades, the black wings, even those horns. Yeah, the horns are a dead giveaway.
作られたのは
It's like they set out to become the complete opposite of what we are.
彼女は力も不自然だった。
Nothing about her power seemed natural either. And, your power is?
もちろんこうなるまで一生懸命に頑張ったの。生まれつきこうだったわけじゃないんだよ。
Of course. We worked hard to get where we are today, you know? It's not like we were just born like this.
けど彼女は
With her, though, it's like it was just... She falls silent, deep into thought. Man, I do not really get any of this. All I know is that apparently those monsters aren't the only thing I have to fear now. Apparently done thinking, Sayaka snaps back into reality and grins.
今日は大変な日だったね。家に帰ろっか。
I think we've had enough excitement for one day anyway. How about we get you home now? She reaches out to take a hold of my arm, but I'm one step ahead of her and jump back. I can already tell what she had in mind. No more flying. We'll walk, okay? Walk.
そうしたいならいいけど、空の方が安全なのにな。
Aw, if you're sure. It's much safer in the skies, though. Like hell it is. I was lucky I didn't have a heart attack when they were dragging me through the clouds like that. Completely shattered after all the events today. We start the journey back home. And I think with the battle complete, I'm going to wrap it up here. When we come back next time, well, we're back home. Till next time, guys. Later.